calls, Instagram, messages, WhatsApp. What is the necessity? I wanted to emphasize the importance of the necessity of this Siddha Yoga process, especially at this time where you can see the turmoil in the world. Yeah, even when you take America, we have a lot of wealth. We're all pretty self-sufficient compared to where we started. Still, we are far more agitated, far more restless, running harder than ever. And what is the importance of getting into a practice like this? And especially, and what is the right age for children or others to initiate?
The age is to get initiated into this. One should have crossed 10 years of age. So before that, we don't initiate. That is the order of my Gurudev and Parampara. So if the children get initiated before 10 years, there is every chance of taking this prana to one side. When it goes to one side, there will be chance of rupturing his eardrum. So like that, we don't advise. But if a child has grown up to 10 years more than that, you can understand what we can say. That too will advise them not to do forcibly in the young age. But at the age advances, you can practice at any. It will take time to, ప్రాణాయామము అనేది అది ఫిజికల్ అని అనుకుంటున్నారు ప్రపంచం అంతాను. రైట్? ప్రాణాయామం అనేది ఫిజికల్ ఎక్సర్సైజ్ కాదు. అది మనకి జ్ఞానాన్ని కలుగు చేసే అంతర్ముఖ యోగ విద్య. అది చేస్తే గాని లేకపోతే కానీ మీకు అర్థం కాదు. అదేదో ఒక సెపరేట్ మెథడ్ ఎవరు కొత్త కనిపెట్టారని అనుకుంటున్నారు అందరూ. అది తెలియకే అనేక మంది గురువులు అనేక రకాలుగా చెప్పుకుంటున్నారు. అనేక గురువులు అనేక మంది రకాలుగా చెప్తున్నారు. ఏంటి కరెక్ట్ గా మీకు భగవంతుడే నాకు కావాలి అనేది దృఢ నిశ్చయంతో మీరు ఆలోచించారంటే యూ హ్యావ్ టు కమ్ టు దిస్ ప్రాసెస్. ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ డిసైడ్ బై ఎనీబడి. అండ్ నేనేదో కొత్తగా చెప్పి మిమ్మల్ని ఇంపోజ్ చేస్తున్నాను అనుకోవద్దు. డోంట్ థింక్ దట్ ఐఎమ్ ఇంపోజింగ్ యూ. బట్ ది థింగ్ ఈస్ you correct yourself, because till now you are suffering a lot. Not only yourself, anybody in this world is suffering a lot because of deficiency of energy. That energy has to be recouped by this process of pranayama. Understand? Okay. Anybody?
So with this does the energy stay constant? You will feel that energy throughout.
Oh, what? But
the energy that you will gain, you will be able to maintain that energy.
Yes.
Throughout your.
Yes. Day. Say if you practice this pranayama for about 1 hour a day, that will maintain your energy for the rest of the 23 hours. But that doesn't mean that you have to stop for 1 hour only. You should go on doing that. When you are getting benefit of it, out of it, you will continue that. But at the minimum, I am telling that if you do yoga for 1 hour strictly, you will get energy and you can perform your duties 10-fold than your normal duty done previously. So whatever you are working outside is by energy only. By energy only. That too you are getting mental energy. When you are doing mental energy, you can withstand and you can sustain like anything. Any more? How much time?
13 to 5. So we have 10 more minutes.
10. Okay, you ask.
So with pranayama, does the amount of sleep that one requires?
Please come.
So with pranayama, with the amount of sleep that one requires go down, or like
sleep, you mean
8 to 10 hours of sleep every day?
Okay. Say, this pranayama, will you take to a stage at an optimum period of sleep? Some people say that I have to sleep 8 to 10 hours. Normally we say that. That is only due to accumulation of water in the brain. But you do pranayama, your water in the brain and the body is reduced, so you will be always alert. Even 4 hours of sleep is enough. 4 hours of sleep is enough, and you can perform the rest of the period with energy only. To understand? So it is not a dictum that I should sleep 10 hours or 1 hour like that. But the purpose of getting sleep is to give rest to the organs temporarily. But you should not go to the depth, go to the deep sleep. See, sleep is meant to give rest, to withdraw this from the senses. So when you are withdrawing, your organs will take rest, including the this voluntary parts of the body. So until then only you have to sleep. Otherwise, if you go on sleeping, you are going on sleeping, you will enter into tamaha. Tamas, you know, tamas. Tamas means your brain will be slowed down. You can never know the fact. You can never know the fact. So if you want to find out the fact, you have to keep your brain always active. Only during that period you give rest to those organs. That's all. Understand?
Not change. We can. There is no program until 6. So if there is an interest in asking questions, we can continue with it.
All right.
It doesn't have to be about yoga. If you have any other questions about Bhagavad Gita or any other things, we're not able to answer. So,
But I am happy you are somewhere touched with this Bhagavad Gita and other Vedanta.
I have one question.
Right. Sudhir. Come forward.
So you have you have all seen what's happening around the world in the last couple of years. COVID pandemic, the peak of the suffering, physical suffering, the mental suffering, the emotional suffering, economic suffering, social suffering, and the people are thrown into a corner, and then you are shrinking.
ఇది పెట్టుకున్నాను ఇది పెట్టుకున్నాను లెఫ్ట్ ఇయర్ పెట్టు
being a shrinken individual. I just want to ask Guruji's take on this and tell us, we have a life to live every day. He has a life to live. He has a life to live. He has a life to live. The baby has a life to live. Are we going to live the life every day with agony, with a pain, or with a suffering, or with anxiety, worried about the future, worried about the past, what is going to happen in the uncertainty? Or are we going to have a decent day? I just want to ask Guruji one question. How this Antarmukha Siddha Yoga has helped us during the COVID time? He has a very open vision how it helped a lot of people in India and also to decrease the suffering. So, yes.
Because he is a pulmonologist, he asked about the experience of how I helped in India during COVID period. There was thousands of people suffered from COVID, Most of the people, they died of this blood clot in the heart and the lungs. All the people died of blood thrombosis in the heart and the lungs. Why these blood clots? See, I will tell you one example, so Dr. Sudhir. In the beginning, when a person is suffered, attacked with this COVID, first there is loss of smell and the taste. Did you ever hear? So loss of smell and taste. Why smell and taste is lost? This is a big question. The smell coming from the olfactory bulb, that is first cranial nerve. And the taste is coming from the third, ninth, and 12th. Ninth glossopharyngeal nerve, ninth cranial nerve, and the tongue, the muscle of the tongue is supplied with the 12th cranial nerve. That indicates when the corona is affecting a person, that is directly going to the brain. That is going to the brain. So you have to treat the brain, not the local organs. That is what I understood by yogam and other these things. Understand? So how to treat the brain? You have to increase the oxygen. Oxygen in the sense prana shakti. In those days, so many people were affected. They were getting this oxygen from the cylinder with mask. They are staying there on the bed for months together. But online, I have initiated this pranayama and asked them to practice vigorously. Most of the people, so many people, even so many videos are recorded. So when they practice this pranayama, within 24 hours, they have removed the mask. They have removed the mask, and till now they could not go out of the bed. But they started walking after 24 hours. Why? Because they have actually got this prana shakti inside by this pranayama. I will tell you a story, whether you believe it or not. When I was giving giving upadesam, initiations for so many people in Hyderabad, during that period, one person came with a wheelchair and with mask, with oxygen mask. I didn't observe him. I have been teaching and telling initiations to others. Suddenly, the organizer who brought me there, Guruji, see that person is in emergency. Immediately, I have gone to that person. He is with wheelchair. He could not even close his mouth. He is perspiring, gasping like this. He is gasping like that. Then and there, I have initiated. He took it immediately because out of fear of death, he took it immediately and started doing pranayama. And I forgot him. Again, I continued my initiations and all these things. After 1 hour, his wife came and told me that, Guruji, I want to take a photo with you. Take a photo with you. All right, you take. 2 sessions are over, 2 hours over. After 2 hours, this person came out of his wheelchair, deliberately walking to my stage, and he also asked me, Guruji, I was so survived like this, and I'm prostrated before you. Please take photo with me also, like that he asked me. So this has happened within 2 hours. So a person with wheelchair and oxygen mask came out of that wheelchair. He was survived within 2 hours with this pranayama. I have also challenged, there is in medically, there is ECMO. There is ECMO. ECMO means extracorporeal and what you call oxygenation of blood in the outside the body. Outside that, there is a new latest machine. There is ECMO. ECMO, So even if with the help of the ECMO, Balasubramaniam, SP Balasubramaniam, some other people also left his body. But if they would have initiated in this pranayama, they would have survived, because this is a direct attack to the brain, because it is increasing the vital energy. When you are doing pranayama, it will increase the mental energy and prana shakti. Thereby, the lungs and heart will be function soon. So there won't be any chance of thrombosis. There won't be any chance of thrombosis. Unfortunately, I was surprised that the people who are suffering from this COVID, they were advised to take more water. They were advised to take more water because the blood is being clotted in their lungs. If you take more water, that clot will be dissolved. Like that, the medical field is advising. But the adverse result is that if you take going on taking more water, your heat, whatever you call pranam, that would be going on losing. That will be going. When it is going out, only your blood clots. But if you do pranayam directly, there won't be any chance of thrombosis. There won't be any chance of, like that. With so many hundreds of people who are treated during COVID period by this pranayama, by online only, not by just direct physical initiation. So many, there were recorded in videos also. So this is not an exaggeration. See, this is a challenge for the medical field. Any man, if he wants to get clarified, let him get initiated in this pranayama, and he can understand what is happening in his body. What is happening in his body, because this is the direct increase of this prana shakti. Any more question, Sudhir?
One more question, Guruji.
Ah.
Most of the people, I don't know how old are they, a little older with hypertension, diabetes,
Yes.
acne,
Come.
So you have so many very common,
Yes.
50% population, everybody has diabetes.
Ah.
There are a lot of our diseases are due to atherosclerosis,
Yeah.
good friend, Kalyan knows, that's what he.
He's a card. Okay.
Strokes, some heart attack, clinical vaccine, it's all about atherosclerosis.
Yes.
I just want your vision and enlightenment to see how this could help for those
Yes.
medical conditions and also the blood viscosity and atherosclerosis.
Yes. Very good question. What Dr. Sudhir asks, how this pranayama helps in elevating or removing this atherosclerosis, hypertension, blood pressure, and all these heart disease and whatnot. When you are doing this pranayama, when you are getting enormous spiritual heat or energy, that heat will dissolve all the viscosity of the blood. Viscosity is responsible, increased viscosity is responsible for atherosclerosis. What you say? So cholesterol and other triglycerides and all these things. So these are all nothing but the solid particles of the blood. So if you do this, the enormous spiritual energy, heat, the heat will dissolve all these impurities, thereby reducing the thickness of the blood. Blood becomes thin, When once you are affected with heart attack, something, the doctors will advise to take ecosprin. Ecosprin is nothing but the blood thinner. So blood thinner you will have to take throughout your life. That is the advice of the doctors. But this pranayama, if you start doing this pranayama, your blood will become thinner and thinner. That thin blood will go to every nook and corner of the body, including your all capillaries. So when a person is doing pranayama, his face and other parts of body will become flushed with redness. So that redness is due to free thorough circulation of the blood. So that's why even if this pranayama, you can treat any heart disease, including your atherosclerosis, hypertension, or myocardial infarction, paralysis, even bronchial asthma, anything. There is one doctor recently who got initiated in America online. She was suffering from sinusitis and bronchial asthma and so many diseases. She's a super specialist of sleep medicine. And she got rid of these symptoms within 1 week. Because of all these diseases are nothing but deficiencies of energy. So prana shakti deficiency itself is in those days when I approached my guru, he asked one question. You are a doctor. Do you know what is the root cause for all these diseases? He has asked me. I thought that for every disease there is a cause. There is a separate cause. There is a separate treatment. But no, he said no. Deficiency of energy, this prana shakti is the root cause for all the diseases. So if you do this, you can get energy and you can get rid of all the diseases. Of course, that totally depends upon your effort, you know. So I cannot say a blank statement. That will be according to your practice. Practice. If any person who is devoted coming here to get initiation, simultaneously he may be having some physical diseases. He will be get cured of with this pranayama. But I don't say that every patient should come and get initiated with this pranayama, because they are not devoted. They will believe the physical medicines. They will believe all this physical treatment. For them, I don't say. But the people with devotion, with ailments, they will get relieved of. I can 100% I say that they can get relieved of all these diseases. Only thing is you have to devote. Devote for what? Devote to your sadhana. If you devote your mind to sadhana, naturally you will get it. Understand? Okay.
Same in the context, Guruji, can you answer about the mental disorder?
Right. Oh, okay, please.
So in US, I think even though we are so developed.
Yes.
country,
Dr.
there
Sudhir is again asking.
We say, everybody knows anxiety, depression, psychosomatic disorder, psyche,
Yes.
apathy. You have thousands of disorders that are psychosomatic.
Yes.
that are mental disorders.
Yes.
Look at the global picture.
Hmm.
Every third person on some kind of medication. Children who have autism, cerebral palsy and all that stuff and like that. So I just want to see that Guruji's perspective on dealing with the psychosomatic and
Yes,
the
yes.
mental disorders.
Yes.
The role of
Good,
the-
good. Good.
To answer your question, madam, Swami Vivekananda has said this. I have lived all this life. Whatever the knowledge I have gained was a drop in the ocean. Imagine to the Jnana Yoga, you want to get enlightenment, how much effort you have to have.
See, for all these mental diseases, mental ailments, depression, Parkinsonism, and whatnot, all these are all due to insufficient blood supply to the brain. See, when you are practicing this pranayama, not only here, as a doctor, I can describe to the doctors, but later on, even the practitioners of the Siddha Vidya, even though they are not doctors, they can as well understand this. What I am going to say is, see, when you are doing this, there is a speedy circulation in the brain also. In the brain, there is a vital fluid that is called cerebrospinal fluid. That cerebrospinal fluid will be speedily formed in the brain by pranayama and will be speedily absorbed from the brain by this pranayama. When you are having speedy circulation with the CSF, all the impurities are absorbed from the brain into the blood, and thereby they will be thrown through the kidneys. And not only that, the oxygenated or the energy you got out of this pranayama, that will be supplied more into every nook and corner of the brain. You know, you are getting these respirations through one nostril only. You know what is through one nostril? Nobody will be having respiration through both true nostrils equally. It can never be. It can never be. That can be achieved only by this pranayama. So when you are getting more in this or in this, that indicates that you are not getting proper blood supply to that particular part of the brain. When you are getting more towards this means you are getting more supply to the left side. When you go getting more towards left side, your right part is getting more supply. That means always your brain is not getting uniform blood supply throughout. That can be achieved by this pranayama. So what all the things, due to lack of this blood supply only, gradually most of the people are suffering from this depression, Alzheimer's, dementia, and whatnot. So, especially in diabetics, the people suffering from diabetes, they will be succumbed for all this earlier. So, for all these depression, all these things, everything is indicating that you are not sufficient blood supply to your brain. So, this pranayama not only get you relieved from the physical diseases, but also mental sufferings also. That's why it is called Adhivyadhi Nivaranam. Adhivyadhi Nivaranam. Adhi means physical diseases. Vyadhi means physical disease. Adhi means mental diseases. Mental disease. So this can relieve all these Adhivyadhi Nivaranam. And another thing is, if you tell about this pranayama or Vedanta, tons of it, there is no use. Only thing is you have to put it to practice. Even an inch of it you practice, you can understand. You can understand. But to make you to understand, I have to tell the tons of Vedanta. Because you are all the way reading so many books, you are coming across so many Vedantic words. So till now, we don't know exact meaning of those Vedantic words. So they are all told about this Omkaram, Pranav, or energy only.
So now they may have a question,
Ah.
like, how do I go about if they are convinced and they want to take
Initiation, I will give. I will now give initiation now itself. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
now it's if that is the case.
We will arrange. What is that?
2 minutes we can
Yes, we will give them.
conclude and get into that. Then you said tons of Vedantam is not going to be helpful.
Yes,
So why don't we
definitely.
get into the root of
Yes,
it
yes,
and
yes.
get access? Yes. So then with that, I was just if you have any burning questions, we will still have a few minutes for this discussion and then close it and get to the core of doing it.
Amma.
Like after initiated and if you, after learning how to do pranayama,
Ah.
is that like we need to sit and do this pranayama?
On the ground only? That's your question.
I know that.
Of course, I know. Say, most of the people, we advise that you have to sit on the ground and get initiated. But so many people, they are not in a position to sit on the ground, especially in these parts of country. And so you can practice while sitting on the chair also. You can practice while you sitting on a sofa also. But the only thing is, you have to sit erect. It will make you to sit erect when you do pranayama. You can straight away cannot sit there because you are doing vayu sadhana. That will make you to sit erect. In whatever asana you see, you sit there. So you can practice at all postures, at any asanas. Antena?
So we need to think about the logistics of doing the pranayama and initiation. So you are familiar with this place. So any thoughts on that would be very helpful. How long it takes? How long do you think for that one person initiating? How do you want to do it?
Say, I will take an oath from all of you at a time. That will take only 1 minute. And after that, I will tell the theory, exact theory, how to practice. That will take about 3 minutes. After that, I will initiate to 1 minute. So all told, it will take only 5 minutes. But initiation is 5 minutes, but you have to practice throughout your life.
10 minutes window, it will not be condensed because it's a very important Brahma Vidya. It is better to take 10 to 15 minutes time to really understand. So right now, I just want to take a moment of silence and thank Guruji for sharing generously, not only from the scriptures, but also from medicine, but also we understand being a family man, all the struggles we go through, and also work for a long time in the medicine, helping people in the district. So Let's take a moment of silence and thank him and thank other gurus.
So,
who passed on this knowledge.
before initiation, we shall close this session and initiate you. Okay? Amma, we are going to close this session by praying. Om Swasti Prajabhyah Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahisha Gobrahminebhyah Subhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhno Bhavantu. Om Sarve Sukhna Santu Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pasyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Sahna Bhavatu Sahno Bhunuktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvina Vadhetamastu Ma Vidvishavahe. Om Shanti 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 Hi. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Jai Gurudev.